The islands of Idö and Kyrka are in the southeast of the Åland archipelago between Sweden and Finland. They are a great source of inspiration for the writer Ulla-Lena Lundberg. Here she engages in her second biggest passion too, bird watching.
I have really done a bird list for Kyrka every year, and finding a new bird here is better than finding a new bird anywhere else.
Ulla-Lena Lundberg has spent time in the United States, Japan and Africa, but the Åland Islands still have their grip on her. The writer spends every summer on Kyrka Island, which has 250 residents. She writes books in Swedish about life on Kyrka. Although the islands are in Finland, Swedish is an official language because of the Swedish minority. This is where she was born and spent part of her childhood.
I always knew I wanted to be a writer, or since I was 4 years old, and my sister happened to tell me that those books I thought were just sort of organic matters like stones and sticks, and she told me that those stories that we so loved were actually written by people who were called authors. And for some reason I was ashamed to tell people that I wanted to become a writer. So for a long time I used to say I would become a sea captain.
Lundberg has written more than 20 novels and non-fiction books. In 2012, she memorialized Kyrka with the novel Is, soon to come out in English as Ice. The novel was an instant bestseller in Finland and won the renowned Finlandia Prize. Critics praise it for its vivid descriptions of nature and people.
There is a lot of ice in the book when you think about it. You see the ice as a glorious occasion when communication between the islands is suddenly so easy. People just go there skating or taking a sledge or something like that, and there is almost a festival sense about the time when ice makes communications easy. And then of course you have the lethal side of the ice. So in fact ice plays a big part in the book.
The main character of the novel, a young pastor, comes to the island with his wife and young daughter in the mid-1940s. Their hopes for a new life are suddenly dashed when the ice cracks under the pastor's feet and he dies. The island in the novel has a fictitious name, but the places described actually exist, for example the Franciscan monastery and the rectory where the family lives. That's the house where Ulla-Lena Lundberg was born in 1947 and where she lived as the daughter of a pastor.
It's a very familiar place, so you have to remember that I have spent all my summers here, and not in this house, but on the island with the people. And I think that knowing that you were born here, that you spent your first years here, gave you a kind of footing. I still have this strange desire to welcome people who come in here because I think in some way I have a stake in it, and yet, you know, I'm very willing to share it.
Ulla-Lena Lundberg often spontaneously guides visitors around her island.
My parents had sheep.
These are sights from her own life and the novel. Here she shows the place where the book begins with the arrival of the pastor's family.
This is the old church landing. Today it looks nothing like it did. It used to have quaysides on both sides, and boats could moor. If the harbour is really full, smaller boats could go to both sides here.
Ice makes use of the author's own experiences. Like the pastor in the book, her father died in the ice when she was 1.5 years old.
To me, my father was always a fictional character because I have no personal memories whatsoever, and this is why I insist that the book is, of course, pure fiction. And I think I work like every other writer does. I take my own material and make something else out of it, which is fiction, a novel.
Today, Ulla-Lena Lundberg lives most of the time near the Finnish capital, Helsinki, but she still feels closely tied to the Åland Islands and their inhabitants. Next summer, she'll be coming back again.